Peace, everybody. This is Akeem from Hindsight Radio. Hey, I'm excited because I am having a seminar March 1st and 2nd in New York City, my hometown, where I grew up at. So, the highlight of this seminar is going to be trust. Now, I'm like, what do I need with trust? I don't have any money. I don't have a lot, a high paying job. I will tell you, you do need a trust. Although, most would say you don't, but you do. You have a home, you need to protect it. You need to protect it from probate. You need to protect it from the disagreements that arise in families when someone passes. I see it all the time. Someone passes, and all it takes is one person to disagree, and now you're in probate and you're arguing over your loved one's estate. Trust help you protect that. So it's only $150 to attend. And because you're going to be so great and you're nice and you're going to attend to support the event, I'm going to give you templates on how to fix your credit, proven templates, not the junk you see out there on the internet and that everybody's advertising. Proven things that I've helped many people over the years and coached them repair their credit. The credit repair method that I use usually helps people within 30 to 60 days. So the time frame is relatively short. Also, a method on getting rid of those student loans that you've been suffering through for many years. Proven method where you can get rid of student loans, you won't have to pay another dime. That'll be included. And the one special thing that I'm going to add is a basic trust. You will leave there with a basic trust and also a basic and advanced knowledge of how trusts work. So you will get a template for credit repair, a template for debt elimination, and a template for the trust, all for only 150 bucks. But you must purchase your spot at the seminar by Wednesday, February 26th. $150 if you're going to be in the New York area, I hope to see you there. So there you have it. You have no excuses. $150, and you're getting my debt elimination package. If you were to go to my website, is 197, I believe, off the top of it. That's just for that one process. And lawyers, when they set up trusts, usually start around 2 grand for one trust. So again, all of the details will be in the description below. The address, the link to purchase. I hope to see you there. Peace and have a good day.
Bring forth the people who are blind yet have eyes. Down. Some. Oh, hallelujah! Praise the Most High and chase them devilish and apply trust. Right? You die, you don't leave the will, so automatically it's not written. There's an implied trust. What happens? So all of the heirs that have that are heir to that estate will receive the assets of the state based on the laws of the state. That's implied. Or an implied trust is just you guys don't have anything written down, but the way you're operating implies that you have a trust. An express trust is a trust that has clear-cut terms in black and white, what you can and you cannot do. So, since there's a dispute, the court doesn't rely on the laws of the land to make decisions according to that trust. They rely on the trust document to make decisions of that trust because why? The terms were expressed. And, I have to address something, too, because you guys have been turned into, by other teachers, glorified clerks. Gee, what are you talking about? We glorified clerks. They got you going down there registering anything and everything. But let me ask you, when the last time you registered something and it did something for you? That's the question. When the last time you filed something at the county, in the court, other than the court case you're fighting, I'm talking about, you, like, let's just say you trust. You registered down at the county or in probate court, whatever the state where you're supposed to file it, according to their rules. The state is going to tell you what court has jurisdiction over a trust. And I'm going to go over South Carolina's codes and show you a few things that you might not realize. But I'm saying, when the last time you filed something and it had some real benefit for you, other than the fact that you just spent money to file it, and it's there? See, what I'm trying to get you to understand, I believe in recording stuff and filing things, but I want to file stuff that's going to do something. Like when I taught you guys how to give these people your explanatory statements with your application and let them know that you're not a U.S. citizen, that had some really good benefits of doing that. When I told you to go down and if you're going to keep your driver's license and make the explanatory statements a part of the record, that had good benefits to it. Same thing with the SS5. See, I do this show here, but I'm involved with another group of people that's doing big things, and they come back and tell me, "Oh man, I did this," and to make sure that the SS5 was corrected, and they confirmed it. Listen, I'm not telling y'all just to file stuff just because it looks good. And you have to understand that you're being told to file things and don't understand what you do. I'm not saying don't file. I'm just saying before you file anything, make sure it's going to do something for you. Understand what you're doing. Now, one of the things, before I get into that, before I break down this trust, I always got to put spiritual teachings above the secular teachings or whatever it is, law teachings, trust teachings. I got to go spiritual first. That's a must. So I'm in Matthew chapter 7, verses 7. And it says, "Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be opened to you. But everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it will be opened. Or what man is there among you who, if his son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Or if asked for a fish, will he give him a serpent? If you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children,
why you guys are failing, most people are failing, they want to create the whole outline of what they want to say before they even present that they're going to teach it to the world. They do it all, take them months, whatever. But see, when I do it this way, and then I set a date on it, I got to get it together. I got to put everything aside, put it and get it and teach it. Now, here's the thing. I already have 85% of the information because I've been practicing it through other people, helping people with the child support. When I did this seminar, I probably helped over 100 people successfully with child support all over throughout the country. And if you get that webinar, you'll see me talking about using your religious freedoms in there. Now I'm a lot more emphasis on religious protections. See, if I know myself, this is what you have to do. You have to know who you are, how you operate, and work with that. And say, well, if I'm a person who doesn't hold myself accountable, then I know I'm not going to do this. So you got to do things where you know you'll feel uncomfortable if you don't do it. See, I make myself uncomfortable that I got to get this done. Now I'm getting paid to be uncomfortable. That gym right there I just gave you is probably one of the biggest reasons why I'm so successful at what I do. That right there, that one technique I gave you is it. Peace. Let me check the volume. The volume. Give me a second. See if we good. Oh, it's good. For the first time out the gate. It's coming in loud and clear. Let me turn up some of this gain. Good. All right. Well, peace everybody. Um it is February the 23rd. We got 5 days left to this month. This Black History Month. They give us the shortest month of the year, right? That's just a slap in the face. We don't need Black History Month. We really don't need it because everything is our history. The whole planet is our history. See, that's what happens when you allow those that are in control of the narrative to dominate your thinking, to tell you when Black History Month is. You got history every day of the year. You got history going back way before some of these people even hit the planet, okay? If you check history, there's a certain group of people that didn't show up until 6,000 years ago. That's the history they talk about. Oh, we only been here 6,000. They've only been here 6,000 years. But guess what? You've been here millions of years before that. And somebody decided to do some. I ain't getting into all of that. Y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all not ready to go down that rabbit hole. I don't want, it's Sunday. You know, it's a day of uplifting your consciousness when every day should be that way. Excuse me, hang on. I'm suffering from a little drainage right now. Um, so yeah, every every day is Black History. Every day is people of color history. Because when you look at everything, created it. They just came and adopted it. They came and founded it. That's why they put founded on the building. They don't say constructed in this date. They put founded. What is founded? You do know they changed definitions of words, right? They put founded. We founded this. No, you found it. You found it like that, and you took over it. Yeah, all those world fairs, all of that stuff that happened around the world. Oh, see these ancient structures. Your people did it. People that look like you. I can care less what people think or about what I'm saying. I did my research. All right. And people that usually want to disagree with me, they haven't read anything past the Bible, and they barely read that. Because if you read that that history, that's our history too. Everything that took place in that Bible took place in where people had some melanin in their skin, some dark skin. And there's places in the Bible they talk about how dark someone is. So we have to start accepting the fact of how great a people we are. We have to accept that. What we did was we let people trick us into believing in their narratives and what they want to claim we are. When you have a people that have a low self-esteem about themselves and they realize that they didn't create anything, they have to tell a lie to give themselves some credibility. And it's only for them to make themselves feel good. And they don't even feel good telling those lies. Because a lie never stands the test of time. It never does it. I mean, they can get away with it for a while. But for the most part, a lie does not stand the test of time. And this is why all of this alternative information is coming out. But give me a second. I'm gonna take a brief little break. I have to go get me some tissue. Hold on a second. Let me play a little something. I'll be right back. Let's use this one. You have to go through something to accomplish something. Say it again. You have to go through something to accomplish something. Unfortunately, a lot of people are not willing to go through something to accomplish something. It's too hard. That's too much. I hear people say it all the time. Man, that stuff you do, I couldn't do that. Working that hard and making all those phone calls, get those loads. I can't do it. That's too much. Basically, what they're saying, it's easier for them to go work for somebody and be told what to do. That's what's easy. I think they just be talking when they say that. They don't really understand what they're saying. It's like Christ said when they had him up there crucifying him, and he said, "Forgive them, Father. They know not what they do." And I'll say to that, forgive them, Father. They know not what they say. They don't know the consequences of their very words. They don't know. It's that simple. Do you realize that you're receiving your reward of every word that you utter out of your mouth? There's a saying in the church, power of life and death is in the tongue. And that is, all right, I'm back. Sorry about that. But, yeah, they give you this fake history, and then, we bought into it. You know, because our parents said, "Hey, this is go to these schools," and they gave us this information. But when you really dig deep, you start to see that most of the stuff you taught in school was lies. It wasn't the truth, especially when it came to the history about black folks. They didn't teach you that you had neighborhoods, you had your own stock market called Black Wall Street, and then there was a deliberate destruction of all of those neighborhoods. It was taken away from you by force, manipulation, and intimidation. And some people say, well, how come we haven't rebuilt those? Because we haven't rebuilt them because if you've been educated, miseducated, indoctrinated, you don't know what to do. You don't know that those options are available for you. It only take 2 to 3 generations of people to be miseducated, and now they're stuck. Why is it that black folks are when you look at the bottom of the barrel, you could say, you have people who will say, well, it's our fault. And I would agree with that to a degree. But when structures were put in our, when you're trying to come up and someone sticks their foot out and trip you, that's another thing. There's deliberate systems put in place to impede your progress. So you might want to get ahead, but then you got all the options available to you, or the options that they given you or shown you are limited. So you have to take that into account. Black folks have to do a whole lot more to prove themselves. We're automatically assumed to be wrong in any situation. Automatic, just because of the color of your skin. Why do people think that way? Because when you look at programs, they program you into believing these things. You take a very small child and they start comparing pictures, between a black child and some white child, and they say, who's most likely to do something wrong? And they point at the black child. These are young kids at a very early age, toddlers, basically. Where did they get that perception from? Where did that come from? A systematic um indoctrination of making black folks look like the villain. We cannot dismiss that. Now, can you succeed even though those obstacles are put in your place? Oh, yes. You can do very well. People have done it. That's what make us such a resilient people. You're not, there's no, when the smoke clears, we're still going to be here. I don't know about everybody else. We're still going to be here. Why? Because through struggle, you get better, right? Through struggle, you become better. You learn how to adapt. But when you come up in a side with, you don't have those difficulties, and you're not being those adversarial situations put in front of you, you take things for granted. So we'll be good overall. So the topic of before I get into that, March 1st and 2nd, I have a seminar in New York. If you look, I posted a short video. here on YouTube with all of the links and the description. So what I've done is this. The main topic of the seminar is going to be about trust. Amongst other things, I will go into nationality and other things. And you know how I do. If you've ever been in my seminar, I kind of go where the people lead me, where I feel like the most need is. So, but here's what I did. The price is 150, right? And when you get with that, you'll get um templates on how to get rid of your student loans or any other debt, templates on fixing your credit. Y'all, if y'all were around with me for a long time, I used to really be heavy into helping you with your credit. I still have that information and it's still effective to this day. You know, I had a method that would get rid of, problems within 60 days. Technically 30 with the method that I use, but I never advertise that way because I make concessions for what could go wrong or updates. But and then also you're gonna get a basic trust template with that. So that's 150. I'd charge what for just the irrevocable webinars, like 167, something like that on my webinar. So you're gonna get a 2-day seminar, 115, and you're getting all those things for free as a bonus. But the catch is this: you have to sign up for the webinar or the seminar by Wednesday. After that, you're gonna pay that same fee, and actually the seminar is gonna go back to the $200 price, and you won't get those bonuses. So I know I have to do this. Know why I got to do this? Because we as a people have this tendency to wait to the last minute to do anything. Like every time I do a seminar, 80% of the people wait till the day before to pay it. I guess that's payday. And because of the expenses that are involved with this seminar, I had to come up with something to encourage people to pay early, giving them incentives. So that's what we had to do. So if you come showing up at the door at the seminar, you're gonna pay the $200 and you won't be able to get the bonuses. So if you want the bonuses, you got to do it by Wednesday. All right, because it's 2 days. The seminar is 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, 1 to 6. I think 1 to 5 or 1 to 6, and then Sunday 1 to 6. And the reason why it's in the afternoon like that is because we are actually having it inside of a church, and they have their services or whatever they do in the morning. I know on Sunday they're gonna have a service, and then we come in for the 1 to 6 time. And we gotta take care of the church. We gotta give them something. They're doing a community based service, trying to help the community, uplift the community. They need their money. They need their money. So that's what's gonna be happening. So what was this? So I was just looking at some comments. Somebody said here, it's hard to determine the difference between a cradle to grave regular scheduled program and our own natural thoughts. Yeah, I gotta agree. That's why the topic of today is, why do you care what people think? Because that is the one thing that controls how we move, controls our success or failure. We're making decisions because we don't want to look different. Think about it when we had the question mark demic, pandemic, whatever you want to call it. Most people knew that those masks wasn't working. But then people rationalize, well, you want it just in case. If somebody has a particle that goes this way and that way and blah, 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 it won't go in you. But listen, your skin absorbs stuff just like I put lotion on. Whatever chemicals in that is getting absorbed into my bloodstream. Your skin is the biggest organ on your body. So yes, maybe it won't get in my nose, this particle of saliva or whatever won't get into my nose and all of that, but it's getting on my skin and then it's absorbing. And if you're using public restrooms, if you're using public restrooms, people flushing the toilet, that spray is going everywhere. It's going. What about your eyes? Come on. Those of you who have pink eye and some type of infection in your eye, how did that get there? Right? So, unless you have one of those masks that was sealed airtight, you would not. What do they use for biohazards? They wear these full suits. But the reason why people did all of that is because they didn't want to be different. They didn't want to fight. They didn't want to argue. And then people peer pressured people. Whoa, look at you. You're not following the guidelines and all of this stuff, you know? So that's why I'm talking about today. Why do you care? Why do we care so much about what people think? Now, do you have to have a degree of consciousness about what people or how people are perceiving you? Yes. So if I'm coming off like an asshole or ass to people, I have to check myself. Okay, see, why are people reacting in a negative way towards me? Is this something I'm doing that's creating that experience? Excuse me. Sorry. So yes, in that aspect, in that context, you do need to be mindful of how you're presenting yourself to people that are giving you these consistent negative reactions. However, when it comes to how you want to run your life, how you want to think, how do you want to believe in God, and how do you maybe you want to create a business, and people come at you and say that's a bad idea. In those situations, you shouldn't place so much importance on what people think. You should place the highest importance on the inspiration that gave you the idea. That's when people come to me with business ideas, I may think that it's a bad idea. Me personally, for me, it's a bad idea. I don't think it's going to work. Right? But they had the inspiration. But let me help you understand something about inspiration. Sometimes inspiration takes a form that changes over time into another form. So that inspiration that you have to start a business or start some project that's going to bring you some type of prosperity might be the entry point to give you the training for the real form that it's going to take. Think about it. How many times you going into something, you had it and you went in with one way and then it came out another way? But yes, because all things have to start off somewhere, right? I love these examples of seeds, right? A seed, typical seed is about that big, right? It's very small. And it's just this little thing. Doesn't look like much, but in it, it packs a powerful ingredients, the structure of it, what it's going to be. You put it in the ground, plant it, you don't see it. The next thing you know, little sprouts come out, and they get bigger and bigger every day. And the next thing you know, you have these trees, these full-grown trees. That's the same thing with ideas. Starting out one way and ending up a whole transformed into this megalithic tree. And it was this small. That's your ideas. So that's why I don't tell people that's not going to work, because in the context of my mind, it is going to work. It may not look like that in the beginning. What you're showing me, that particular process or idea may not, but it transforms because you get into doing this, and then next thing you know, you're doing something. It goes from one thing to another. When I owned the barbershop, I went into it learning how to cut hair. Then next thing you know, I was, to make up more money, I was selling satellites, which that took me into traveling around the state. And then I was in other states. Then I ended up working jobs like for Comcast, controlling the North system of Comcast system. I controlled the sales department over the sales area for that. Then from there, I came back to South Carolina and controlled a portion of Columbia, South Carolina's installation area, the contract there. And that all came from me owning a barbershop, meeting someone who was into satellites, and I needed to make a little extra. Hey, let me sell a system. He gave me a few systems at a time, maybe 3 or 4 at that. 3 or 4 systems at the time, right? Sorry, I have to wipe my nose. I don't want y'all to, right? Then it escalated to 10. Then he couldn't handle me. Then I had to find somebody else to handle me. And that person that came to help me to my rescue when I needed more system gave me 50 systems. I started with 2 or 3 at a time. 50 systems that filled up the whole wall of my shop. I had a back wall, and all of that whole wall was full of DirecTV satellite systems. And we got rid of those. They had a what is towns do this once a year? They called fairs. They have little fairs in small towns, and then they have them in, like, here in the Raleigh-Durham area, they have the state fair. But then they have towns have their own local small fairs. And at this fair, we sold half of them at the fair, and then, when me and my buddy Lloyd, may he rest in peace, we decided to do a count of what systems we had sold over the summer on into, I think, maybe October, November. We had sold thousands. We had lit the country up in just DirecTV satellite. That business took over my barbershop business. So I eventually closed that barbershop down in the country because I realized there was no growth there in that country. Because most of the mindsets of those people in that town, I'm not going to say the town because I don't want to seem like I'm beating up on the people, because that town was not progressive enough. I had reached my limit in customer base there. But most people had said that's a bad idea to open a barbershop in that town. Now, had I worried about what people thought, because I was working in the shop in Columbia, making really good money. So I had to sacrifice making good money to go build this business. Right? I had to go start from scratch, get new customers, because my customers wasn't following me that far into the country to give me business. Are y'all hearing me? Small town, they close every Friday. Know why they close every Friday? Because that town traded slaves many years ago, and that was the day they traded slaves. So all of the business shut down on Friday, even the bank. The bank would close half the day. And this is a black ran town that was still honoring this nonsense. But I'm not going to beat up on them and say what town it was. Because I made many friends. I still have lifelong friends there. And I don't, want to, but they need my lifelong friends, people I know there that know me will agree with exactly what I'm saying. But, still was many good, some of the best people you're going to meet is going to be in those country places. Because they're very simple, and they're welcoming you home, and they're always looking for good company. Now, but unfortunately, in places like that, they don't see past the town. This is their life. And if you're wanting more, you got to branch out. But anyway, so I started there. Then, I ended up being in Atlanta working. I lived in Atlanta for a time. A lot of y'all don't know it. And that was, getting there was a struggle, getting my feet wet there. Then next thing you know, I became one of the top guys running a sales team, where we were making thousands a week. Just to give you an example, one of my paychecks was 10 grand in 1 week worth of work. because we were not only just selling cable on a just a residential, we were selling neighborhoods. Ackworth, Georgia. We took over that. Comcast took over that neighborhood back in the early 2000s, and I was part of that project where we had to come and convert all of the customers over to Comcast from the local cable company that was in Ackworth. Made big money. So that's why when you have ideas, you can't be caring for people who think, because you got the inspiration and you're excited about it. You can't get me excited about it because God didn't come to me with the inspiration. He came to you. All I'm going to use is my intellect to kind of, well, based on this and that. But then when you think of it from a spiritual level, the spiritual higher plane, you need to go into that business. Even if it may not bring you the wealth that you're looking for, but it will bring you to the situation that you're looking for that can transform it from that to something else. See, the only way I can speak like that because that comes from experience. See, stop worrying about what people think that have no experience in what you're doing, or even tried to start a business, or even if they did try to start a business and they failed. You can't listen to people like that. The only thing you have to listen to, you need to be listening to, is yourself, that inner voice, that God in you that's talking to you, saying that's making you excited about that business. Stop caring what people think. And number two, stop telling them what you think. Because unfortunately, people are haters. People are jealous. And if you start talking about things that are gonna elevate you, and they not thinking about nothing but watching the next game or television show, and they just thinking about going out to eat, spending their money, and go home and getting to bed, whatever, and getting up to go to work the next day, they're gonna have a certain envy of you trying to break out of that normal structure. I'm I'm trying to figure out why we have such a low viewership right now. So maybe it's just I don't know. Y'all need to be sharing what I'm saying, because this is what I'm talking about. I believe everybody goes through. We don't make decisions because we scared how it's going to affect or people going to say and talk about what we're doing. We don't get on the YouTube and start talking because we're afraid of how people are going to take us. Yeah, some people are not going to like you, but then most people are going to like you. There's going to be somebody that resonates, and those are the ones you're looking for. Just like in sales, most people going to tell you no. You're just looking for the couple of yeses, because those are the ones that's going to support and make you successful. I was very successful in sales when it came to television because I knew the technical end of it. I was very successful in satellite because I knew how to sell. I didn't know nothing technical about satellite when I first started selling it. But I was in a place where they didn't have cable in the country. The only thing they could get was satellite. Excuse me. And they would just I couldn't sell them. I couldn't hold them in the store. I became too big for the little guy, and then I had to go to the big guy. And all of that gave me the experience I know about, being certified in low voltage. I'm certified to install satellite internet. Yeah, I have those certifications. That's how I know when they talk about going to the moon and all that is BS, because when you take a class in how the satellites and when you're pointing at a satellite, where it is, like how does it stay? How does the satellite, if it's in space, stay in that spot for me to point towards the southwestern sky over Texas? If it's up there, way out there. No, it's below that dome in a fixed spot. So when I was taking these classes, how are we spinning so fast? And then the satellite can stay there and I can just keep pointing at it. See, when you in these fields, you start to wait a minute. If we're spinning at this very fast, so fast thing, and all I gotta do is folk and this satellite is over in this spot. I can't point it over back over here and over there to get the signal. It's over there. It's in a fixed location. So if it's up in space and the Earth is spinning, blah, 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 how is it able to still catch this signal? Well, something ain't right. See, most people don't know that. No, most people don't install satellites. No, have never installed or even taken a class on it. I went to DirecTV's training, Dish Network's training on satellite, and they show you, oh, this is where it is. This is where, here are the coordinates. They are coordinates. You put the coordinates, three different numbers. You punch it in. This is where I got a point. And then I had a what you call a bird dog that I put those. I'm looking for this specific satellite in this specific spot. And as I turn that dish, that did go beep, 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 beep. Then it go beep, 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 beep. I found it. So that defies, when you take those guys, that defies all that stuff they be telling you about what the earth is doing. Yeah, we sending them up in the sky and blah, 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 and cost this, and this is what we doing. Wait a minute. If it's a fixed location over Texas, southwestern sky, something ain't right about this history they talking about. But we not talking about that right now. That's what happens when I get to talking. I start getting another inspiration. Wait a minute, this whole this science that they're trying to kick us. See, remember, I want y'all to know something. When it comes to this education system, I can only speak for this one because I ain't been part of any other country. This education, everything it teaches you is for the benefit of the big corporations. The knowledge you're being given, I don't care what it is, of the big corporations profiting. And you have to understand a lot of that stuff is misinformation. Because when you start doing stuff like I did, going to take these classes and they teaching you, showing you diagrams and giving you the technical stuff, and you start to be like, wait a minute, I ain't going. How was the earth spinning this fast? And you could put a satellite and it could stay in that location for whenever. But if it's over in the space and we spinning, 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 how does it keep locked? How does it stay locked? It just don't make sense. Excuse me. How does it do that? So stop caring what people think about your ideas. You shouldn't care. First of all, you wouldn't have to care if you stopped telling people what you're doing. Do y'all understand? I understand some of y'all are in relationships, you're married, and you feel like you want to share certain things, but you have to know your partner and what you can share in certain things. You have to be wise. Because some of us are just simply hooked up to haters. Let's call it what it is. Some of us are living and sleeping next to haters. I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news, but that's just the fact. You know you got a hater when you're doing something and you're trying to work a business and they not really interested in knowing or helping you in that business. That's how you know you got a hater. They not even hey, how's it going? Is there anything I can help you with? See, or every time you try to do the business, they try to discourage you. You're always doing that. Well, I could be out there, you know, getting high. I could be out there womenizing. There's a lot of things you could be doing that's negative. And just a little side note, some people will investigate and look into more of what you do wrong than what you do right. And when you do something right, they don't give you no credit for that. But they'll give you credit for the wrong so they can beat it over your head. So what I'm saying is stop worrying about what people think. And keep your ideas to yourself because people, for the most part, don't care or want to help you. You're going to get more support from strangers than you are from the people you know close to you. Just to be honest with you. It's a human resource creating systems not designed to turn out critical thinkers. Actually, yes, it is. It is that system is built so perfect. It is designed to keep you from ever wanting to branch out from it. That's why people get so when stuff start, they feel like eggs are high right now. Oh, we're running out of eggs. Do y'all know that Tractor Supply sell chickens, the little chicks? You can go buy them and you can get your own eggs. You won't run out. I'm actually seriously thinking about building a spot in the garage and get me just one or two. I don't need much. I just want to, think about the sanitary conditions, and then you can feed your chickens what you want. I mean, I got a dog, right? My daughter got a turtle. Well, why don't I get a couple of chickens and make them pets and get the eggs from them, fresh from them? I'm actually seriously thinking about because eggs was for a dozen eggs is almost $10, bro. And we getting it from, and we know those eggs. We don't know how old they are, how good they are, what they fed those chickens. Now you go get your own little chickadees, and you got your eggs. So there is a solution. Now, do you want to? Now the thing is, will you put the effort into doing it? Right? I make my own nut milk now, which tastes way better than any store bought nut milk. I was buying almond milk and realized they barely put almonds in them. Someone was talking to me about how they got their own cashew milk. I said, man, I'll make my own cashew milk, but go get the cashews. And they found every excuse why they needed to buy. Oh, it was on sale. I said, well, shoot, cashews are expensive, but yeah, maybe, but you're making your own and you buy a big thing of cashews, nuts, and you make just what you need. Like now I just make enough almond milk for what I need. And that lasts. So that little bit of that I make lasts a long time because I don't really eat a lot of things with it. I drink it, but I don't drink it every day. Or if I want to make my own pancake batter, I make that with it. You see what I'm talking about? It's every excuse to be dependent on the system. Oh, they got it marked down a few dollars. Okay, I go get a pound of, I don't know what cashews cost, right? They're not. They can't be that expensive. Let's just say a pound costs $10. If that much, I don't think it's that much. I think it's more like $5, right? But 1 pound, I bought a pound of almond milk, almonds, and that pound I've already made 4 sets of almond milk, and I still got almonds left because you don't need but a small amount to do it. Small amount. Like I get a 1 cup of almonds and the whole almonds in there, a half a cup actually. Put it in there, put the water in it, let it do its thing, and in 8 minutes I got almond milk. Now it does separate when you put it in the refrigerator. You just shake it back up. See how simple? Try it. And I bought the little device off of TikTok. That didn't even cost me $100. I think it was like $50, $60 for that little device to make it. Then I put a little thing to drain, make sure I don't get the particles in my milk. But it's healthier. Now I know what ingredients it is. My distilled water and and the nuts. That's it. You see? But see, if I worry about what people think, oh yeah, listen, do what's best for you. Stop trying to talk to people about your business. Stop caring about what people think, because that's one of the greatest things that hinders people, because they worried about how they look. They're worried about what people are going to say about them. You are designed perfectly. See, the reason why we worry about people think, because we have a viewpoint of ourselves that's negative. This is why people put on all kinds of gadgets, put on all kind of makeup, because they afraid of how they look when they go out there in their natural form. They think that stuff is going to make them look better. So when you put something on and you enhance it, what you're saying is, I'm not good enough the way I am. In essence, you're worried about what people think. And from a man point of view, we love women without makeup. That's just us. We love it. We cherish that. But unfortunately, society has programmed the women of today that don't care what that man thinks. Be more concerned with how the world thinks, or the people at whole, or what this program saying is gonna make you look good. Be more worried about that. Who cares about the man you're sitting next to? Don't know, man. He ain't got no right to tell you anything. The person that you're actually gonna interact with and deal with on a daily basis, you don't care about what he thinks, but you care about what people on Facebook think, and people that you don't even do, that don't even help you pay bills. See? See how what happens when you put your place in worrying about people think from the wrong perspective? Us men, I'm sorry, ladies, we don't really care for the makeup. I speak for most men. And I've said this to some ladies. That I wouldn't say all men dig me. Yes, we do. I'm sorry. Any men, y'all men, any men in here who online right now, type agree if you agree with what I just said. Type agree. Whoever's here, type it. Any men. All that's the only question. Do you care about a woman having all this makeup on? Even if we don't consider that woman to be exceptionally attractive, we don't care. Want that to look just like you were born. We want that natural stuff. Something about that natural. See, God made us attracted to only the natural stuff. Waiting for somebody to type something. See, somebody said no. We don't care about that. We don't care about no makeup. We now let me type in there. Would you prefer? You said no. Here's the question: do you prefer makeup? Yes or no? I'm just trying to shut down any these ladies that be trying to say, nah, that's just certain men. No, that's most of us. We don't want it. We don't want the lipstick. We don't want all that mascara. We want to see what you look like and appreciate that, because that's the part we're gonna fall in love with. We don't fall in love with Maybelline and Avon and what's the other names of these makeups they got out there. My daughter was starting to put on all this makeup. It took me a time to get her out of it. Now she don't do it no more, because she was being encouraged by her friends to do that. So listen, you don't need that. You beautiful just like you are. See, this is why a man is essential to be in the house, to give that balance, to let it, hey, you stop letting these people put all that stuff, tell you you need that. God made you like this, and you are beautiful as you are. Okay? If you want to put on some light makeup, we ain't gonna complain about it. We'll tolerate it. This is what I say. We tolerate it, but we don't prefer it. They don't care about what we think. Said no makeup. See, no makeup. That somebody confirmed with me. I'm gonna do a video just talk about that. Just hey, man, just go live and just we gonna talk about that and get all the men on and let's have a conversation about this makeup thing. And then you're gonna have the little haters get in there and start why men care about this and this and that. Yeah, you want us to care, y'all want us to take care of them bills, right? So we should have some type of say. Anyway, there you have it. You don't have to deal about people who think you have ideas, go with your ideas, move forward with it, because what starts out one way will end up another way. When I started Hindsight Radio, I was talking about, I had a whole different vision in mind. I didn't know I'd be helping people with their credit. I didn't know I'd be helping people with their cases. I didn't know I'd be helping people with trust. I didn't know the stuff I'm doing now wasn't part of that plan. But if I had allowed people words to discourage me, I wouldn't be doing this right now. What starts out one way most times ends up another way. You just got to follow the path. One inspiration turns into many inspirations. That's why get the inspiration, run with it, but don't be so hardcore in your inspiration that you don't see other opportunities. Okay? All right, with that being said, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go out here and guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go down there. Yesterday I was I made some pancakes out of bananas, flaxseed. Somebody gave me the inspiration for this. And I put a little bit of flour and some baking soda in it. They tasted delicious. And these all, natural. But I'm gonna I think I used too many bananas. It was just too sweet. So when you added that with your maple syrup, it just was that sweetness was too much. So I'm gonna use this time. I had used 3 bananas in the batter. I'm gonna use 1.5 banana, a little bit of flour. Then I'm gonna throw my almond milk in there, my homemade almond milk. That's what I put in the oven, and some baking soda and 1 egg. And I'm gonna make my own. See, do y'all realize you really don't need to buy some of this stuff we're buying in the grocery store? We're off the topic and worrying about people think. I'm trying to, I'm gonna talk about this maybe tomorrow, Tuesday. Things you can do to be self-sufficient from buying things from because things are getting high, right? So I have a big tub of flour, 50-pound bag of flour, and I put it in these. You can go to Tractor Supply and buy the 5-gallon buckets and they seal. So I have a big bucket of flour, then I have a big bucket of lentils that I seal up. And so and I bought this flour like last year and I still got plenty left. So you take you can make a lot of your own food. Simple things like pancake mix. I like pancakes, right? But you go to the store and you look at the ingredients, they got all this crap in there that I don't need. See, my pancakes got a few ingredients in it. And I don't have the issues with eating that like I would buying the stuff from the store. Same thing with bread. 4 ingredients: salt, yeast, water, flour, right? And you go buy these sweet teas from the store, like the pure leaf ones. I was like, I'm buying this stuff, paying $3, $4 for this a 64-ounce one. Wait a minute, I just go get my own tea bags and make my own tea like we did back in the day. And I get a whole big jar, squeeze some lemons, and I got my own tea. We boil the water, and you want fresh water? Make you some distilled water. Get you a distiller. That's gonna be an investment about $250, $300, and you can make your own water. And then you remineralize it with what you need to put in there. Because distilled water it takes everything out. So you just gotta, get you some Shilajit. Um, one great way to put some minerals back in it is Celtic salt. I got minerals in it. Put it in there, drink it, you're good. There's so many things we can do on our own. We don't need to get from the grocery store. We don't. And before I go, reminder, I'm gonna put the link here. Let me get this link. Where's the link? Where's the link? There it is. Copy link. And let's go back. Here's a link for the seminar in New York. If you're going to be in New York, it's $150. And what I did was you're going to get credit repair templates, debt elimination templates, plus a basic trust for attending. But you have to purchase and join this seminar by Wednesday. You got to make your purchase by Wednesday of this week, the 26th. Okay? To get those free things. Anything after that, you're going to pay the $200 and no bonuses. So why do that? And that's a very small price to pay. So if you're going to be in the New York area, all of the details are going to be in the description of the link, the address where it's going to be at. So I hope to see you guys there. All right. All right. Peace. Y'all have a good time. Oh, a good rest of your day. Too many people think too much. They think, man, I gotta have this. I think about what people gonna say, how they gonna react, blah, blah, blah. People gonna say and react how they going to react. You can't control that. You just gotta keep your mind focused on what you're trying to do. Stop getting focused on what people think. Stop caring so much about that. Am I saying be rude and hurt people's feelings? No. I'm talking about in the context of you creating your business and getting off the ground. People may reject it a lot right at first. There was a lot of ideas out there that was rejected a lot. The idea of selling water in a bottle that you can get out the tap free was rejected at first. The idea that we could fly somewhere on a plane in the air was rejected at first. Shoot, I always use these guys. Michael Jordan was rejected at first. Now he's a household name for whenever. Who knows? Still selling Michael Jordan sneakers, and he hasn't played in years. But he was rejected at first. So you must be rejected first before you get accepted. That's just part of the process.